Well, it says that I'm live, but I don't think I am yet. How do you do, folks? I'm just getting ready here. Get everything plugged in. Kevin Keller's in the house. Someone else. J Red wants donations. Get your own show, fucker. Let's see here. I am going to also be going on Facebook Live tonight to taunt them a little bit, but I won't be staying on there. So, Kevin Keller, I know you can hear me. Well, I don't know for sure, but I suspect you can hear me. I got an upgrade. Thank you very much, but I don't have it all plugged in yet. But it's here. But I'm not going to be streaming for 2 hours tonight on account of we're going cat sitting. But that's, again, thank you so much for that. And it's more shit to plug in and learn. And it's been a crazy week, but I really appreciate that. So it's here. It's just another thing I got to learn. So anyway, so we're creeping up on 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to put this thing on go. I burped. There's me. Okay. Alright, so we didn't officially start yet, but bring you up to speed here. I will be going Facebook Live, but Mrs. Comic is not in the chat on Facebook Live, and they also don't get this fabulous snowball microphone sound. So I'm going to taunt them, peckerheads, to see if I can get them over here to YouTube. And let me go put my crotch into the view of the camera here and hit the go. Alright, greetings everyone on YouTube, unshunned, newcomers, Facebook Live. I can tell you this, I'm not really going to be live on Facebook. I know that's kind of a dick move on my part, but you can see on the Facebook live stream, there's a big, like a monolith from 2001. That's the back of the better camera, because that's just going with the iPhone and a teeny little speaker. So mostly these streams are for my Patreons over on Unshunned. My Unshunned over on Patreon. It's going to be that kind of night. But tonight it's free for the world. So, but you got to get at least over on my YouTube channel. Now the fun, as you know, as we've been doing this for a while, is that Mrs. Comic is in the chat. She has fans. That's fantastic. She says howdy doos and thank yous and all that stuff. But it's people on Facebook still haven't figured that out. And I tell them, and it's in the post, and I say, won't be able to read your comments. And there they are. I'm watching them right now. I'm unshunned. Folks on YouTube, Mrs. Comic in the chat. I am watching comments on Facebook Live with the shitty monolith thing there. I might just let it play for a while. I don't really know. Welcome to whatever the heck this is that we are doing. I'm hanging out here when I don't have a gig. I'm streaming live, and I can tell you straight away, I'm going to be streaming live a lot. And if people want to know where's my tour schedule, I can tell you my tour schedule off the top of my head. It's May 13th and 14th at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. I don't want to fuck that date up either, because, what the hell? If I don't have that many shows, I sure as fuck don't want to give you the wrong date. So it's May 13th and 14th, Harrisburg Comedy Zone. It's a fantastic club. That's right around the anniversary of my comedy career, and this year it would be, I can't do the math, 30 some odd years, but I don't know if we can count the last couple years, so it could be in the minus there. And then the next show I have after that is July 29th at the Emmaus Theater. I'm very excited about that. All the show tickets are on sale. That's it. That's all I got right now. So I wouldn't say that we're in deep shit, but the shit is near us deep. That's what's going on there. So I'm trying to get some stuff. Let me show you what I'm up to here. I'm offering this. And again, they won't see that on Facebook. The Bring Theaters Back tour, I'm lowering my fee, the obligation to try to get money for them and for me. That's the thing I'm doing. I'm doing the exact same thing for Fire Hall fundraisers. The scary thing of running a show is the commitment fee. The commitment fee is dropped way the fuck down in the bucket of goo. So I'm doing that. And I'm also, any possible way to get me, you can get me. I am Zooming shows. I'm doing video, birthday greetings, picnics, parties, barn raisings. But I don't just, you can't just invite me over and say, well, we'll feed you and give you free beer. So that's what's going on there. Now the chat's jamming over here. Facebook, you're missing the chat. I'm just telling you. So, it says starting soon. I fucked that up, didn't I? Find live scene. There it is. All right, so here we go. I'm using my cheater notes as always. I gave you my tour schedule right there. I did have a show last weekend, Comedy for Cats, and that was one that I almost lost because they were trying to cancel it. A very simple contract, and there's really no cancellation policy. You just got to try to fucking run the show. That's what happens. So I lowered my fee just as a goodwill gesture, whatever you say. A pathetic attempt to keep the show going. That's what's going on there. So that put a little match under their ass, and then we had a lot of fun. We raised money for cats. Now we got to raise some money for me. That was a hoot and a holler, and that was, doesn't matter where it was because you can't go to it now. So I don't know why I'm bothering to tell you that. And I am triumphantly all over the place tonight, as is my way. There's no real segue into this, is that my wife and I, this past week or 2 weeks, whatever it's been, snuck to a day funeral. When I say snuck to one is that we're just kind of still hiding from crowds, and we can avoid them because I'm around crowds. And also people, I'm going to sound like a real douchebag. People like to talk to me, and I like to talk to them. And when a comedian shows up at the funeral, and people are sad and they're crying, and it's a horrible thing, and then I'm there because somebody that I care about is there, and they, hey, Raymond! Not, read the room. Funeral. And somehow they don't hear, and the timing is bad, and then we actually escaped a crazy lady, and she actually chased us around at a funeral, which is creepier than anything I've ever done in my life. Is try to say hello to someone at a funeral, and they go, timing's not good, it's not really a fun festival, and we'll just hide over here, and then chase after them. So that's why we who likes to go to funerals? Nobody does, but I sound all stuck up and full of myself, but in this area, 99% chance somebody at that funeral is going to know me, and they're going to be surprised that I know whose ever family is there for that funeral, and somehow the sadness and the wahoo dog-ass peckerhead bourbon bowls gets all mixed up. So if you're thinking of inviting me to a funeral, I'd rather you wouldn't. And I have another silly list here because I was pissing him on about my tour schedule being non-existent. This also makes me reflect upon really insane gigs over my career that I never thought I would miss them. But fuck me in a bucket of goo. I'd love to have them back now. I performed at the State Mental Institution. Never thought I'd miss that gig, and actually never thought I would miss the State Mental Institution because that's closed down. I did I guess it's a banquet or a seminar, I don't know. Cancer doctors. That was not a fun group at all. Cancer doctors were not a fun group, but I went a little bit nuts because some of the cancer doctors were actually outside of the room smoking. Cancer doctors smoking And when I found this out, I went fucking Postal Susie to open my show. I'm there. What kind of arrogance is that of a cancer doctor to sit there and go, yes, I'm a cancer doctor. I can cure it. I don't give a fuck. I'll give it to myself and cure myself. That just fucking melted my brain that cancer doctors, and again, it's a gig I'd love to have back. One of the greatest gigs like that. Some of these are like day gigs, like Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon. That's when the business things get together. Coroner's banquet. You and I had no idea that the coroners had a banquet, but they did. And here's a news flash for you: the coroners were really fucking fun, because I mean, at the point at which they deal with anybody is it's not funny, but it's too late to try to comfort anyone. So the coroners, so I got a real funereal theme going here. We were at the funeral, at the coroner's banquet, cancer doctors. I was hired. Here's a gig I missed. A couple of times this happened to me. I was hired to be driven around in a golf cart and heckle golfers that were at a corporate wahoo. And let me tell you, some golfers do not have a sense of humor at all. And the foursomes, I guess it was, that sounds sluttier than it is, leave it to golf to fuck up a foursome. They would actually have, one of the foursome would be like the watch person, and they would just be on guard looking for the golf cart with me in it. And they had binoculars and shit, and then they'd wave, and they'd be like, no, but see, the guy who hired me was driving the cart, and he fucking was paying for everything. So I started to heckle the golfers back. It's like, it's not my fault, you suck at golfing. And then after it was all said and done, then I had to entertain him at the actual banquet like a regular show. And again, they were not fun. Let it be said, let it be known that golfers are less fun than coroners, banquet people, but golfers were definitely more fun than cancer doctors. So that's the thing. If you have any kind of chart that you're working with, that's what I would do there. Let's see. I was hired for a couple wedding receptions. That's badass. And if you hire me for a wedding reception, you better do your homework, because if your in-laws are not prepared for an F-bomb choir sing-off, you'd be going to start your new family on a rocky road, to be sure. I was hired by a millionaire who owned all the holiday hair fashions to pretend that I was his long-lost relative, and he had just been in the newspaper. If you're familiar with the Allentown area, down at the bottom of Hamilton Street, there used to be a movie theater. The prison is there now, and right across the street from the prison was a giant Holiday Inn hotel that was just shut down. It was fucking abandoned. This guy owned it, and he sold it, and then they put it in the newspaper as, local so-and-so finally dumps this hotel for like $1.5 million. But what the article didn't tell you was, because I knew this guy's a friend of mine, the insurance to keep something like that from not killing people is ridiculous. I don't think he lost money, but he sure as fuck didn't make $1.5 million. But I crashed a dinner with him and other rich people, and I was waving this newspaper thing at him at $1.5 million, and I want my cut. You fucking owe me from way back when we were kids. And they totally fucking bought it. So that was a great gig. The film, it didn't really pay good, but the film, For Richer or Poorer, I'm hired in that to just basically stand around and look stupid and bewildered. Like, the running joke there is, how would they know when I'm working? How about that? So I miss all those gigs. I'm really fucking trying to get some work. I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm having fun. I'm writing the book. I'm writing the fucking book. The problem is the preface. I don't like being told what to do. And the preface is supposed to be a thank you to all the people that without them this book wouldn't be possible. That's a bunch of happy horseshit. So right now, my preface has swelled into 25 minutes. It says projected fucking reading time. And the preface also has a prologue, a preface prologue, and then there's a pre-prologue and another prologue. And a lot of you fuckers are in that. Victor, I think you're in there. Clee's sister's in there. Oh, Clee's sister might not be in the house yet. Happy birthday to Clee's sister's son. That's badass, and I'm not going to judge you because you're a sweetheart, but if it was my birthday and you cut the dinner short to come and see me, it's just a gray area there. So happy birthday to Clee's sister's kid. And let's see what else is going on here. All right, here. Let's see. Boo. Oh, again, I'm all over the place. So I'm thinking of doing a GoFundMe for a downstairs bed, and I'll tell you why. I am the sleep police. You know that I am the sleep police, and my wife can take a nap, and then she'll wake up. And I change the scary shows, and they get stuck in her dreams, and she screams, and we have a lot of fun. But when I have my feet up here on the footrest, so I can't really fall asleep down here because my legs are in the air for one thing. Plus, I roll all around. If I actually fell asleep with my feet on the footstool and I rolled, I would just roll to the floor. So I would like to have a downstairs bed, mostly because when I get to that point where I think I can sleep, the physical act of getting up and marching up the steps wakes me the fuck up. And then I might as well come back down and watch the next episode of Fringe. That's what we've been watching, Fringe Revisited. Fantastic show. It's alternate universe stuff. And then my brain, as dumb as I am, my brain seems like it's the trolls in the idea hallway are always looking for shit. We saw Fringe however many years ago, so I'm seeing all this alternate universe shit. And they go in New York, and it's this version of New York and Broadway, and that version. And so they travel to the weird one that doesn't really exist. And the cab went by with the Broadway musical show sign on the top. And, it's supposed to be cats. That's what it's supposed to be. And get this, it's dogs. That's the joke. And it goes by in a flash. It's only like a 2 or 3 second thing. And I'm here going, dogs! Fuck me, and that'll get me excited enough to stay awake for a while. Now, there's more shit about this Fringe and alternate universe stuff. Okay, I'm all over the place here, but this is I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but do you ever see anything in like a movie or a TV show, like a place where you've been, and it makes you want to go back there, and for stupid reasons? That's what happened to me. We were watching, this guy goes around haunted parks, and he scares himself and he screams. He went to Niagara Falls, and there's haunted houses up there, and collectively, my wife, myself, our daughter, were watching this thing. We were hoping that in his video there would be Frankenstein Burger King, which is up at Niagara Falls. It's the greatest thing. It's Burger King, and it's fucking Frankenstein there. We never even went in it, but it's still there. And now I want to go to Niagara Falls just because of that fucking stupid show. Let's go up and visit Burger King Frankenstein. Now, let's see what else is going on here. Don't get me started. All right, I'll get me started. Let me tell you, before I get mad, I want to do this. Let me tell you how amazing my wife is. Because times are tough around here. She had a coupon to get grown-up gummy vitamins for like $1. So that's what I have now. And they're served in this fun little candy dish, this little bowl here, right? And every day I start my day with 2 gummy bears. Now these are actual Swedish fish because I can't take a gummy bear. And then I found something else out last night, and I went fucking nuts. There's also a pill my wife drugs me. Melatonin can help you sleep if you can't sleep. And I just found out last night that I could. One of my options would be to get my melatonin in the form of gummy bears. So I could start my day with gummies and end my day with gummies. But if I take my melatonin gummy bears in the morning, I'll fall asleep and roll off the footstool. But apparently I'm going to be morphing into an all gummy diet. So that's happening there. Shout out to Mary, wherever she is. Mary the cat is born again new. She's having a ball. She will not come into this show because I'm too fucking nuts. When I settle down, and then she'll come up here. She has all these different routes. She has a whole routine. She can go up here and back there and around there. And then there's a front window that she can look out to watch for Bearcat. And then there's a back window that she can go and look for Bearcat. And Bearcat hasn't been here tonight yet, so it's possible when Bearcat shows up, Mary will flump into the window, and if you hear a loud flump, that will be Mary flumping to tell me that Bearcat's here. But I already took food out, so we might not get the flump. So the fun thing now with Mary is Mary was an upstairs cat for years and years, 9 years, I don't know how long. Her coming downstairs it's this whole world. This is an entire playground for her, and she actually will not go upstairs except that's where her kitty litter is. Now, today, she came up there to visit me while I was on the toilet, and I've covered that before. That's a good friend who will visit you on the toilet. Mary, I can read her thoughts. She came upstairs and she looked around, and she was like looking around, and she's there. I can't believe I lived up here all these years when all the fun shit is downstairs. I can't. Why the fuck would you even come up here? Well, why the fuck would you even dream of coming up here except to use the toilet? I don't even. Why you come up to sleep? Sleep, police. Keep yourself down. And I thought, well, Mary, that's a good idea, but I'm going to need a GoFundMe to get a downstairs bed to make that happen. Now, the other thing that we figured out here is a whole bunch of stuff is that cats get a bad rap for being aloof, like snooty, and I don't really give a fuck. Mary is a drama queen crier. This was a feral killer, and I turned her into a lazy TV watching crybaby over everything. She's worse than me. She loves specific spots. I know my wife's over there, and she'll have a nice pillow there. And then, of course, my wife likes to use the pillow sometimes, too. So if my wife is using the pillow, Mary will go over there and sit and stare at it and go, oh, I sure wish I had that pillow. Oh. And she says the same fucking thing. When the windows are open, then you can hear the birds, and you can hear all the shit. And when it gets a little cold, it gets fucking cold, the rule around here is when it goes below 60, close the fucking windows. Mary doesn't go by that. A cat is not cold when it's fucking 42 degrees in. So she'll go and cry at that fucking window. Please open the window. I don't understand. We were having so much fun. This is the kind of shit they'd pull off upstairs. But down here, this window should be open. She cries for the fucking windows open. Anything that crinkles, she thinks is a snack. I've got weird fucking allergy ears again. So I got radio ears. So, nighttime, I need a Benadryl. I crinkled a Benadryl. Last night, 11:30, Mary cried at it. Please, can I have that Benadryl? Please. Oh, I don't understand why I can't have the Benadryl. Everything I take, I gotta fucking offer it to her first and hope that she doesn't like the smell of Benadryl. A fucking cookie I got. We went on a sexy date. We went to the farm stand, and I got cookies and potatoes and all. One chocolate chip cookie, and I ate most of it, and I set it right here on this little table. And Mary came in, and cats smell stuff, but when Mary smells something she really wants, then we get this. like a fucking cocaine addict. And we didn't know what it was. If the windows open, maybe a skunk's out there, maybe it's bear cat. I don't know what it is. The fucking cookie. The cat wants a chocolate chip cookie, and the cats can't have chocolate. So now I gotta hide this cookie. So everything I eat now, I gotta walk around like this. So she's crying for the cookie. Breakfast foods, that's her whole thing. I got my gummy vitamins here. Oh, let me take a deep breath because, let's see. I got that. Oh, I know. I forgot a story. We all do this. If we have cats, we have dogs, and if you go to visit other cats and dogs and whatever they do, sometimes we believe that should be a fun thing for our cat that we have. So Mary is an older cat. We are later going to visit our grandson cat, Hank, who loves his pappy because I'm silly and immature. And Hank is so fucking cute. We have a Hank screensaver here. It's a rescue cat, and it absolutely loves our daughter and her boyfriend, and they can scoop it. And she scoops it up, and it's in there like a little baby. And then it doesn't try to escape. Try that with your cat, Clee's sister. I don't know if you can do that or not. But it won't try to escape or nothing. And it actually puts its paws around and just tries to hug her and stuff. So my adorable wife thought she could try to scoop Mary. Now, first of all, you need a crane to scoop Mary. No offense, she's just an older cat. But my wife was determined, and she went to scoop Mary. What I saw was not an adorable cat scoop, but the thing's hugged. What I saw was WrestleMania 4, when Mary was trying to do a pile driver, a Hulk Hogan style, a slam, a flip, a crawl. She flipped all around him like a fucking lunatic, and then finally escaped. And then my wife's like, okay, well, that didn't go that well. So then when you pull that shit off on your cat, then you think the cats hate you forever. And it's done in like 38 seconds. But I don't think she's going to try the scoop method anymore. That's not going to happen tonight. So now let's go to that which I didn't want to talk about, but that's what I do. Things that are trending on Twitter. First of all, Twitter has become far more hateful than Hatebook. It's really fucking bad. It's so fucking bad that if I don't know how I feel, I can just go on Twitter and 5 million strangers will tell me how I feel. That we're all put in categories and we are told how we feel. That's really fucked up. But trending on Twitter is Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. Why does this make me fucking nuts? Because I'm here streaming from my living room begging for $3 and fucking $5 donations. And that cocksucker bought something for $44 billion that seems to me like somebody sold him the fucking Brooklyn Bridge. Why doesn't he buy my fucking live stream for $44 billion? I'd fucking sell out in a heartbeat. That falls under the category of my live stream series where I was doing things around the house that I bought that I wish I wouldn't have. That's how he lives. Oh, I never really should have bought Twitter. That was $44 billion. What a fucking waste. So that stuff makes me nuts. And the other thing that made me nuts is people are voting on whether they think Twitter will be better now because this fucking asshole bought it for $44 billion. And he's really a douchebag. And he knows he's a douchebag. He tweets things to make the lab rats run. And then he fucking giggles and they do it. Do you think he gives a flying fuck? If you have $44 billion to spend on the thing that's the same as if I told my wife I bought her a star in the sky. It's just the fucking thing that's up there. I just can't. Now wait here. Oh, there was one happy Twitter story. This was trending. Dr. Pepper Blue. Dark Berry. Dr. Pepper Berry. They got Barry Manilow to plug this thing. Somehow it's only for Barry. So that's a challenge to me. I knew it would work. They were fucking with me. Only Barry's can have this. Fuck you in a bucket of goo. I'm going to buy that fucking thing if I want to do it. So you're supposed to retweet the Dr. Pepper thing and name your favorite Barry. I chose Barry Dawson from the radio days. I tagged him. I tagged Barry Island. That's a location from Gavin and Stacey. I tagged Drew Barrymore, and she'll probably block me because I tagged her in a creepy post. And I tagged Raspberry. That was fucking stupid. And I also tagged on, because it's Dr. Pepper, this was fun. Maybe tomorrow we'll tag doctors. And then I also tagged spin doctors, and I actually know them. So that was far better received than Drew Barrymore. So there you go. Dr. Pepper Blue, Berry, whatever the fuck it is. It's limited edition. How the fuck a soda can be limited edition, I don't know. But I got my hands on one and I foolishly drank it. So it's actually pretty good. So now we're going back to... Alright. Oh, I'm going through my notes here, and I'm going through some of my stories from my book. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to rewrite that has nothing to do with the book. It's just flashing back. I used to do a thing about cell phones. You can't break up on a cell phone in the form of a text message, because that's just being a dick. Oh, Mary's in the house. You coming over? Wrong sofa. Mary, if you don't know, is crying to have that window open. Alright, so back to my cell phone. She might make an appearance. I don't really know. That's right. Mrs. Comic has your pillow and the window's closed. Everything's so terrible that we have to cry. Back to my cell phone. The bit was, you can't break up on a cell phone with a text message, but I say you can't break up with a cell phone, period. Because when you break up, you want closure. You got to just break up and hang up and slam that fucker down. That's it. I never want to fucking see you again. Boom! Roasted. You need one of those 80-pound big black phones that you could hit it with a fucking sledgehammer and still make a call. Because you need to unleash that rage for closure on the breakup. If somehow you could release that kind of rage on a thing like this, there's no badass way to hang up the iPhone. You'd be like, that's it. I never want to see you again. Fuck you in a bucket of goo. Slide lock. They're gone. If you would slam this fucker down accidentally, it would smash into a million pieces. And depending on your particular phone program, you might not be eligible to break up again for another 18 months. So you got to be very careful. That's going to get a rewrite. Mary's in the house, tripping things up here. Come on over here, cat. See, there's no problem. There's no problem that it's live. Just take your time, cat. Just take your time. She's totally just staring down Mrs. Comic. Mrs. Comic has ruined Mary's evening by sitting where the pillow should be. So now we're not going to talk about that anymore. Let's see. Is Richter in the house? Did Richter make it tonight? Richter watches from on the road. Richter, I sent Richter off on a mission. Record store day. We love records. My wife and I, family, daughter. Record store day. Blue Velvet. This would make it seem like we have money to spend on records, but no. This, our amazing daughter got for me for an early birthday present. So that's fantastic. Blue Velvet vinyl. This is so awesomely creepy. And this is the thing that I just want to play all the time. So, and then I sent Richter off on record store days. He was shopping around in Hoboken. I don't know where the fuck he shops for records. So record store day, that was a big hit. I went on a wild goose chase to get a Nico album that was the wrong one. And I said specifically what it was. And apparently words got confused. Mary's on the prowl. See, that's what's amazing. my wife and I, we are sitting here real hopeful that Mary will just leap into this thing and entertain the fans and just leap and run through. And Mary's like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck. But it's the thought that counts, and it's the hope. Okay, record store day. I got foghead, the fucking allergies, the radio ears. Oh, this isn't really that. Somehow I'm still alive on Facebook, and I would turn that off if I could get up, but I'm too comfortable. I really don't want to get up. So when I'm in a thing like now where I don't have shows and I have to sneeze now, that's not part of this at all. That's great. I have to sneeze. That sneeze would be enough to scare Mary off, but she heard the bag of treats. Now what we're going to do, see, you're going to make an appearance tonight? Here you go. Coming in. Get it. Step up. There. Look at that. She's checking things out. And I see I didn't do a good camera angle here. And I'm dicking around. Well done, Mrs. Comic. Giving me cat treats when I was sneezing. But it worked. Mary got turned around. Hey. Listen, you can't eat with your ass at the camera. You see.
She wanted a cookie.
Oh, yeah, she does. She wants the cookie. So now I have cat treat hands here.
Everybody says bless you.
Well, thank you for the bless me. I'm going to put these cat treats down here. That way I can enjoy them as the show unfolds. Let's see now. What was I talking about? Back in my notes here. All right. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Now that can't be right. Let's see. Oh! Focus. When I go these spells of not having shows, and I do write and I do get some stuff done, I tend not to shave this area here. This is just pain in the ass. This is high maintenance. People think the Amish, the mustache falls off as a birthright. No, that's fucking high maintenance there, and it gets to be a pain in the ass. So I will let it go, and because I'm old and there's some gray now in there, and I will forget. The other night, and this was over at Hank's, and we make the joke that Hank's cat has rabbit feet. It looks like it has fucking rabbit feet. A little patch of gray came right in there. I looked in the mirror, and somehow I thought Hank had given me a rabbit's foot thing right there, right? So I don't know what the hell happened there. But that scared me, and that means I forgot the Hank scoop story when I tried to scoop Hank, right? Because we play. Pappy, string games, strings are flying all around. I got him leaping and flying. He looks at the window and guilts me when we leave. He doesn't view me as the person who would scoop him. Pappy is fun, man. I got strings flying all around. I get in trouble because I taught Hank how to move furniture around. The cat moves furniture, and it's my fault. Curtains are now strung up high because Hank ripped them, because it's Pappy's fault. So Hank doesn't view me as the scooping relative Pappy. Hank views me as wild, crazy Pappy that's going to get us all in trouble and take all the blame so Hank doesn't get any blame. So I foolishly tried to scoop Hank, and it was our daughter's fault. She said, is this tonight when Pappy's going to scoop Hank? And that puts it in my head, and of course. So I went and was in the other room, right? And I tried to scoop him up, and then I came in the room without Hank, and our daughter said, I heard the sounds of a failed scoop. This is true. So I had him in a position. I had Hank right there, and it was string night. I brought a special string, shoelaces, and all kinds of shit, and then he loses fucking mind. So when I had him here, he has all his four paws come to one spot, and it was right there. And Hank thought this was a fucking string game. He thought this is the greatest fucking thing in the whole world. Pappy has string grows right off his fucking chin, and I had to fucking throw him, just release him. And the little fucker, he's so cute. He took his front paws, I guess, and he tried to hang on to my beard. Thank for fuck's sake, but I use a conditioner so it wasn't all tangled. If this was fucking tangled or dragged, like he'd have been fucking hanging in that fucking beard. So, and it could happen again tonight. So that's Pappy's string beard. Let's see here. Oh, all over the place. We're readers, man. We love reading. I'm reading. I just read something called The Lost Apothecary, set in 1791. It's fantastic. It's really about a lady who sells poisons to only women who married assholes and needs to get rid of them without stabbing them in the eye. Just subtle poison. And she only sells to women, and she only sells to women who married assholes and can't fucking get out of it. And she's always sold out of ingredients. How about that? So, what I do when I read, I have to wear reading glasses or I can't fucking see shit. I'm supposed to wear these when I write my book because they have the blue filters in there and all that shit. And people that have money can just go to the eye doctor and get good fucking reading glasses. We go to the Rite Aid and we get with a coupon for reading glasses and all that shit. And I like light ones because I don't want something on my face. But you try a whole bunch of different ones, and I found a pair. They're not that comfortable, but I don't know if you wear reading glasses. There's a kind of reading glasses that makes you look like a serial killer. You're so fucking afraid of me now that you can't even stand. I'm even afraid of me now. Look at. That's fucking terrifying. And that don't work with these. See? I just look like a crazy old man knitting socks. And then they have other ones. These are sort of like, they're not really Harry Potters, but these kind of make me look almost like I have to apply for a normal job, and that's getting close to that. So there you have my humorous twist on reading glasses. My serial killers right there. I don't know. Not much else going on here. Any questions? How's everybody doing?
Somebody said BTK.
BTK. What is BTK?
Killer.
BTK. Oh, the BTK killer. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, that reminds me. There was a reference to that somewhere. I actually had a please, sister, that's why I love you. I actually had a BTK killer reference. All right. If you are in my family, or if I am in your family, you can expect shit like this. So, our other daughter, who's a doctor and a teacher, she took 4 students to some science wahoo this weekend in Altoona, Pennsylvania. She'd never been. And so on Netflix, there's a serial killer show called Mind Hunter, and they do an episode on the BTK killer, and that, thank you, Clee sister, and they have these big old stupid block letters to make it look like the olden days, because it was the olden days. It's set in the they didn't even call them serial killers yet. They were figuring shit out. They didn't have forensics. They didn't have profiling. None of that shit. It's the dawn of criminal serial killing, profiling, and the whole thing is set in Altoona. And then I had taken a screenshot of this thing from the serial killer show, and I sent it to our daughter, and I said, nobody ever goes to Altoona willingly. I learned this from the serial killing show on Netflix, Mindhunter. And literally she pulled right into Altoona when she got this thing, and so apparently I scared the fuck out of her accidentally. And then we can't call Crenshaw, by the way, because they have fancy dinner cuisine night now with normal people Saturday night, so it's cuisine night. But Crenshaw as you know, has got the barn of all the shit from movies that he's worked on, because he's done a lot of set design, art direction for films. And a lot of times when they make these films, they just leave this shit, and Crenshaw just takes it and puts it in his barn. And then when we go visit him, he pretends like the shit's really cool, and then he fills our car up with shit that we wind up having to put out for trash, but we can't because it's too special, because it was in a movie, and we got it from Crenshaw's magical movie barn. So we got to fucking keep it. And then watching in the BTK episode, maybe not, but in Mindhunter, I'm sitting here going, we have that fucking lamp. We have that fucking serial killer lamp that's in Mindhunter. It's on the front fucking porch right now, and we have it. I don't know how we fucking got it. Crenshaw, that's how we fucking got it. Now, and it's this big, stupid, ugly light. Now I can't possibly get rid of it, because it's the light that was in the BTK serial killer Netflix special, and now in Crenshaw's barn, and up here, and somehow our daughter's at in Altoona, and this made sense when I was making notes, but right now it just didn't make any sense at all. So there's that. Let's see, Pappy Scoop, the Hank Scoop, String Beard, covered that. WrestleMania Mary flipping out, covered that. Back to, I missed out on this. The whole thing is, this film, we rebel against the idea that cats are aloof. Cats, when compared to dogs, yes, maybe they're aloof, but dogs have been raised to be family members. Dogs from the get-go were supposed to watch the kid, fetch the newspaper, get the slippers, all that. Cats were just brought in to come in and go, I don't really give a fuck. But Mary crying all around, that's not aloof, that's needy. Fucking really fucking needy. And my wife pointed out something. She said, it's not so much that the cats are aloof, they're scared. That's the exact truth. They're scared. They think everything's going to fucking kill them. That's why Mary isn't here right now. I'm really fucking scary right now compared to when I just sit around watching serial killer shows. So it's not that they're aloof, it's that they're scared. And we believe, well, it's my wife's theory, but I happen to agree with, cats have actually evolved into not being aloof, but actually queens of the house and bosses that demand windows be opened and cookies be served. And I want to sample that Benadryl. Oh, wait.
Here's your reminder. Wrap up the stream. It's time to go feed Hank, a cat.
But Boomsa says I have to go. But we'll let her say it again. But I'm not going right this second. Okay, well, she's not going to say it again. All right. So that was my reminder that we got to go. I say we got to go. We want to go visit Hank. But see what else is going on here. That's pretty much it. I am my unshunned over on Patreon. Thank you so much. I'm stuck at like 15 people, and when I say stuck, I don't even give a fuck, because the 15 we have is fucking badass. I will take us on the road. Bourbon Balls, Clee's sister, Kevin Keller. I'm missing people. Amy G. I'm not. You think, well, there's like 15 of us, I should be able to remember us all, but I really do appreciate it. And Mrs. Comic also, we're like, we're so grateful. And so if such planet happens, when I get more things flowing on Patreon, it goes up. Woohoo! And if not, I'll keep the 15. I'll take the fucking 15 down to the graveyard. I'll do it, man. I like with absolutely incredible. Again, I have stuff. This snowball mic here was specifically donated by our Brainiac son, who does stuff. He writes code that I'm not even smart enough to talk to him. But this would be much better to record my audio book. And again, I want to do test recordings for my Unshunned on Patreon. And here's a question for you. I should have put a survey over there. My gut tells me to just record it, just the audio, but it would be just as easy to record it how you see me now. But then what you would get is this. Let's see if I can do this. here's why I don't want to do that, because you would have a video of me reading. Oh, that's the wrong one. You have this is why I just want to do audio and not. So you would have this instead of just listening to me as an audio book, jamming, skateboarding, wherever the hell you're doing, cooking dinner. You would get to sit there and watch and see this. Preface. The preface is the thing you skim through so you can start the book. That's what it is. That's what a preface is. You skim through it to get to the book. And I didn't realize this until I started writing this, but most of my fundraising comedy shows I do have a preface in the form of a pre-show thank you announcement. That's what the preface is. It's a thank you to all the people who made this possible. I'm thinking my fire hall shows actually come with a live preface. Somebody goes up there and says, thanks to Mrs. Moats for selling the tickets for tonight's sold-out show, and thanks to Schmidlap's Live Bait and Hoagies for sponsoring the flyers. You've seen them all over town. And just a reminder, you can still buy raffle tickets for a ham bingo night. And now, let's get to the man you came to see, Raymond the Amish Comic. And then there's thunderous applause, and that's basically the end of the preface. And then I would be technically chapter 1 or prologue as I start to perform. On one of these preface live show announcements, I'm not making this up, and when I'm hearing these things, I'm also trying to get in the performance zone. So the last thing that I heard before Raymond the Amish Comic on one particular night was, just a reminder, we just changed the oil in the deep fryer, so it's the perfect time to get pierogies. That's why pierogi night is the third Saturday of every month. That's fresh oil night. That was a preface. It gets applause. Fresh oil got applause, and the pierogi sales are fucking off the charts. But that would be the problem with me doing this. So now I don't know if you want to vote over there on Patreon or if you want to drop a note in the chat here. I don't see if there's any reason to see me reading that. And of course it wouldn't be a podcast, although them cocksuckers, Podbean, BeanPod, whatever the fuck it is, Bean Dip, all the things that I'm learning and doing want you to do all the things there. Like podcasting is supposed to be just saying shit. Like it's radio for everybody. If it's fuck me, I don't have a radio show, I'll just do it. But podcasting people now, the platforms, all are offering streaming video for an extra charge. That's what I'm fucking doing now. Why do I want to pay an extra thing to just do a video podcast when the whole idea was to have an audio podcast as a supplement to my video podcast over on pay? See, you can't fucking win. So if you peckerheads, I mean in a nice way, you want to vote, I feel like it'd be better with audio without me. Basically, I could just put a picture of me up and it would be the same. But ultimately, you would just, if you would want to see the video of it, and people on Facebook are going, why the fuck did I tune in? Hey, I told you to get off of there and over here. Now I forgot the hell I was talking about because I broke to heckle Facebook. That was a bad move. But I picture this thing more as a podcast that you could just listen to. Also, when I get this thing, I should just break down and record this because this is what I was saying before. I have all the shit to record it now. But now I got every time I go to edit the preface down to a tighter thing, it adds minutes. So my preface is up to 25 minutes. It definitely qualifies as a chapter. So I probably should just stop trying to chop it down and then record it and get that fucker out there. And it's more than likely too that the stuff that goes on Patreon for my unshunned will be a much longer version because they tell me you have to have an editor, and this dumb shit will never make it through an editor. There's no fucking way. So that's what's going on there. I don't have anything else very exciting to say. I learned on Twitter that when people who speak like me, if they say it's a sign of not being successful because you're stalling to think things up. Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. I am fucking stalling, but fair play. You fuckers who I love try to stall me. You try to get me to think shit up. You will see. Just don't go yet. Just something and go from there. So you fuckers are enablers, the way I see this thing. So
It's Kevin Keller's birthday on Thursday.
Kevin Keller's birthday on Thursday. Get yourself something nice and say it was from us. Happy birthday, Kevin Keller, on Thursday. We don't ask how old we are anymore, although mostly everything anybody ever says to me launches me into a thing. Because when you have a baby and they turn 1 year, it's all about the months for a long time. Like, how old's the baby? 5 months? 6 months? 8 months? When it turns a year, you don't say 12 months. You say 1 year. But when it clicks over, and they say, how old's the baby? 13 months, 17 months. I kind of sort of wish they would keep the month system. And then let's do the math here. Let's see. If we do the month system, I, myself, 63 times 12 equals, I am 756 months old, and I have a 757 month birthday coming up in May. And I threw in an extra there, so I'm happy we don't use the month system, but happy birthday to Kevin Keller. Who else is in the house here? Let's see. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Yes, Kevin Keller, my birthday is May 21st, and that's what I say. Early birthday gift. That's badass right there. Oh, I know, Mr. May 17th is the anniversary date of the start of my career. And I'm not 100% sure what year it is now because I just can't keep track of anything anymore unless there's a cat involved. So I do book the Harrisburg Comedy Zone for that anniversary week. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. And I've done a few of those right here in this living room. Anniversary show, pandemic year 1, 2, and a bucket of goo. So I'm very excited about that. I'm sorry if I seem distracted. I totally am, because it was a mistake to stream live on Facebook. Sorry, Facebook. I see you over there, and I don't see you. I can't actually believe anybody's still over there, because if you see this, I'll see if I can show you what they see. All right, now here I'll do this. Now, if you're over on Facebook, can you see that? That's the big wedge. That's what you see, the big wedge. And you fuckers probably can't see anything. So, where it's fucking me up is I'm like a cat, because now I look up there all the time. So I definitely behave like a cat. That's bad. I'm going to have to stop streaming live on Facebook. Birthday's coming up. Anything else going on? Because we are definitely at the stalling part of this show. What did I miss, wife? Anything?
No, I said that you're Taurus and Gemini.
I am Taurus and Gemini. Yeah, I got Gemini alone is like split personality thing, and creative and fun and nuts. And Taurus is more of like an asshole. So that makes all the sense in the world to me. I think Taurus is the sign of the asshole. Kevin Keller, are you a Taurus? No, that's not an insult. It's like more stubborn. You know, Taurus the bull. Bull's stubborn. That's it.
Kevin Keller said no bourbon tonight.
No bourbon now, because we're going to go drive to see the grandchildren, which is a cat named Hank. But I will hit some bourbon later on. If you see these things around my social media, there it is. You can't see that shit. Here, I'll throw this back. If you see these, if you see this, or something like that, if you can share that to someone you know, like if you know someone that has anything to do with fire halls, give that a share. Anything with theater, movie theater, community theater, give it a share. Those things help me out, and really that's really the only reason to be over there and be nice to the people on Facebook. I'm really sorry about how ugly I was before, now because I'm asking for favors. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything more exciting to say. I got my Dr. Pepper Blue Barry here right now. If you don't know what to watch, I am going to wrap this up. My wife and I have been watching, I'm so embarrassed, Julia Child's series. It's absolutely phenomenal. We love her. Unless she turns into be a serial killer at the final episode, but I might like that anyway. That's an amazing story. A woman who's not supposed to be a chef, because only a man is supposed to be a chef, because that's what women are up against in this world, and this is going way back. So she's getting a bag of shit from men chef for pretending to be a chef, man chef, on TV, and they're jealous because they're just a fucking chef in a restaurant. And she said, well, I'm not a chef. And then she's getting a bag of shit from the women's movement where you're kind of glamorizing cooking. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I love cooking, and I love eating the stuff that I cook. How the fuck is that? How is that a man thing, and how is that a woman thing? It's really a fucking great story. And she's really fucking smart. And if I had Julia Child's business savvy, I would be fucking disgustingly rich, because she had to put up with a lot of bullshit. And as soon as when you have confrontation with anyone in any business and you fight, you lose. That's why the cat people got a discount when they were going to cancel. I'm not saying book me, and if things go bad, but if you battle and sledgehammer, you're going to fucking lose. So Julia Childs would take these things and trick them into doing the thing she wanted to do. That's fucking brilliant. I don't really know how that applies here, but
We're also watching that pirate show.
Oh, the pirate show, Our Flag Means Death, is one of the greatest things you've ever seen. If you like What We Do in the Shadows, the vampire show, it's some of those people, and it's some of the people from Flight of Conchord. It's really fun. It's pirate stuff, but it's well, I don't want to wreck it for you, but it's fun. It's very much fun. We just wrapped that up, and we're only
Slow Horses.
Slow Horses. That's another good one. We're enjoying Slow Horses, and the one that we really liked was Severance, and that has Ben from Parks and Rec. That's got Twin Peaks shit in it. That's fantastic. And the one we hated was Servant. Severance, yes. Servant, down. Servant, to keep it straight. Severance is Ben, Parks and Rec, thumbs up. Servant, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, who just...
He was good.
He's good, but he's real creepy. He just drinks bourbon, and he wants his friend to hire a nanny that's attractive so he can try to get in her pants. And there's a lot more fucking problems going on there. The problem with that show is everybody's fucking nuts. And nobody's fucking in charge of anybody. And somebody has to be in charge. Even if it's a cat. Even if it's my fans in the chat to fucking reel me in. Nobody is in charge of anything. So somebody's fucking nuts. I'll wreck it for you. A couple loses a baby. And the lady goes fucking crazy. So they give her like a doll. Sympathy doll or whatever the hell they call it. And then they all have to pretend that the baby's real. And they do. And then the guy even had to hire a nanny to take care of the baby doll. And he goes, okay, she went off to work now. You can stop pretending like the baby doll is alive. And then the nanny was nuts. So the nanny kept pretending that the baby doll was alive. And somehow the baby doll becomes alive. And I think she actually kidnaps a kid from somewhere else. And then the person... they kidnapped the baby back, and they replace it with the doll baby, and Ron Weasley, he don't care, he's still just trying to get in her pants, and then the person where they got the baby from, that guy's a nut, because it's like a commune, then they fucking kidnap him, and they kidnap the lady, the housekeeper, they're all fucking nuts, and you can't sort any shit out. So, Servant, Ron Weasley drunk, fun to watch. Couple episodes because drunk Ron Weasley trying to get into Nanny's pants is actually kind of entertaining. But overall down. Severance, thumbs up. That's it. We're good. We're current. Here, you folks stay here. Facebook, I'm leaving now because you can't get the special goodbye. I'm going to do this. Click finish. Alright, so there's that. We got rid of them. Well, I have to go here also. I keep saying have to go. I hate correcting myself because you don't really give a fuck if I say I have to go. You don't know if I mean, well, I have to go, but I really want to go because I don't want Hank the cat to think that we have to go as obligation. We actually really want to go see Hank. And Pappy's going to have to come up with a string game to keep him out of this thing. Thanks for tuning in. Spread the word. Get people to hire me, send me money, and wish us the best. I'm really fucking working to try to get work, if that makes any sense. Maybe I should focus on cats. That doesn't really pay that well, though. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do this. Let's see. There's my Zoom show commercial. There's my Fire Hall discount. There's my Bring Back Theaters tour. People want to book these shows, right? They get a hold of me saying, well, we're thinking of doing a show next year. That'd be fucking great. If I don't starve to death by then, let's do one next year. How about that? Perfect, all right? Let's do that. So here we go to this. You fuckers, listen, Unshun, Patreon, Mrs. Comic and I, we really love you fuckers and really appreciate your support. And as long as electric stays on, I'm going to stream this shit. Maybe we'll have to meet on a corner one of these days when I don't have electric, and then I'll just do my show on the sidewalk. Here we go, stream ending. I'm going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. And I should